What is the purpose of Microsoft projects? The use of MS Project is fundamental to ensure the success of project planning and execution. Through its application, managers can manage resources, evaluate budgets, create schedules, measure performance, analyze opportunities, and assess risks. With the correct use of this software, you have total control over your projects and you are prepared to make strategic decisions. All right, so this is our project management training, and we are using the world's best and the award-winning project management software called Microsoft Project. This Microsoft Project is one of the best projects Microsoft has ever made. Microsoft is known for so many things, like their operating system called Windows. So on your laptops, you are using an operating system called Windows. And apart from Windows, you use Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft programs. But one of their very best programs that really makes impact in business is this program here, Microsoft Project. So that is what we are looking at. And it says it's a project management software for project managers or any individual who wants to manage a project or manage their time and their schedules effectively, to assist in planning projects, assigning tasks, managing resources, tracking the progress of your project, managing your finances, and more. Why is this program important? Microsoft Project is an important software that every project manager or any individual who wants to manage their time, tasks, and resources effectively must learn. It can be used to organize tasks, duties, appointments, and so much more in the best and easiest way in both private and business environments. For example, when you have a project to work on, such as a construction project, Microsoft Projects as a software allows you to carefully plan out everything that needs to be done, when it needs to be done, how long it's going to take, the deadlines involved, and so much more. And this Microsoft Project will give you a detailed schedule that will guide you to make everything run smoothly. So we want to take a quick look at the user interface of Microsoft Project. Now over here you can see the ribbon, and the ribbon refers to the entire toolbar from here, from the left to the right, and all the commands you see on the ribbon, including all the tabs, they all make up the ribbon. Good. So let's open to our program again, and I want you to identify the ribbon and some of the tabs. To open the program, you can click on the start menu and just search for project, and you see project up here. Click on it and it will open. All right, now once project opens like this, let me zoom in a little and show you. At the left side here, where you see this green area, it will show you a list of projects you have already worked on. It will show you a list of projects you have already worked on, so that if you want to go back to them or look at their plan again, you will see them and just click on them. For example, this was one project I was working on. So you have a list of your previously planned projects. If you don't see the projects here, then you click on open other projects and you look for them. To the right side here, we have access to several templates. And these templates are already made projects that you can just click on and customize to suit your own need. They have been created so that certain projects do not have to start from scratch because others have already worked on similar projects. So all you have to do is to open that same project and use their structure and just edit the content so that you can customize it as your own. Now, customizing a template is not something that is wrong. You are not copying anyone's work. As a matter of fact, it is built for that purpose so that people will customize to make their work easier. So the owners of this software allowed us to have templates so that we can work on projects easily. Now, if you want to start your own project planning, you need to focus on this area that says what? Blank project. So when you come here and you are about to start a new project, just click on blank project, and what you will see here is called the user interface. The user what? Interface. The user interface. So when we talk about the user interface, we are talking about the look and the feel of the program, how it looks like. That's the user interface. And on the user interface, you are supposed to locate some of the features. All right, the first feature I talked about is the ribbon. The ribbon starts from here, and over here you can see something written here. I don't know if you can read it for me. Gantt Charts. Good. Now, when you are working with projects or Microsoft projects, you are going to be hearing Gantt charts all the time, because the type of charts we use to visualize our projects is Gantt chart. You know that we have different charts like pie charts. Which one else do you know? We have pie chart, line chart, bar chart, histogram, different charts. There's another chart called Gantt chart. That is what we use in Microsoft project, and it's an amazing one once you understand it. All right, so from the left here all the way to the far right here, including the tabs, these are called tabs. So this is view tab, project tab, report tab, resource tab, tax tab, including the file. They are all on the ribbon. Nevertheless, when you click on file, you are led to a different window. This window you see is called the backstage view. The backstage view. The backstage view. All right. Before you begin any project, you definitely have to come to the backstage view to do the setup of the project before you get into it. If you don't do the setup or ensure that the setup is okay for your project, you may have certain issues that later will be difficult to correct. So before you start your work, you need to come here and perform some few settings. So we'll come back here and we'll do those settings. Now we'll click on this arrow to go back. All right, now on the ribbon we have several tabs. Over here I see the report tab, I see the resource tab. Good. Under the resource tab, all that we see here are called commands. So there are different commands here. And when you look under, you are going to see some names or labels. These names or labels here are referred to as groups. Groups. You keep that in mind, because they may ask you to go to the ribbon, click on the resource tab, and go to the properties group. You have to know what it means.
That side is a group.
The group under here, you see properties.
Yes.
These properties here, you can see that there's a line here and a line here, and this is like a small family here. So this small family here, they are one group, and the name of their group is this, properties. Over here, what is the name of the group of these commands? Level. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So I want you to go to the project tab and the properties group. Do that for me. Project tab and the properties group. On the properties group, click on project information command. Good. So now you have followed the instruction well. Good. So this is how they'll give you instruction. Go to the ribbon. All right.
You went to the project tab.
Go to the project tab. Go to the properties group and select properties group. Group. Excellent. So tell me all the commands you see in the properties group. Project information. Custom. Okay.
Then links between projects.
Then
WBS.
Excellent.
Then change working time.
Excellent.
They are the property groups.
Excellent. That is it. So keep that in your mind. Excellent. Now, let's look at another toolbar. From the notes here, you can see another toolbar here. And this toolbar here is called Quick Access Toolbar. So I want you to locate and remember the Quick Access Toolbar. Let me take you back to the program and show you the Quick Access Toolbar. Now, on top of our ribbon, you can see some small icons here. This is called the Quick Access Toolbar. Quick Access Toolbar. It's a toolbar that helps you to get quick access to quick commands. Instead of searching for commands from the tabs, there are some commands that you can place on your quick access toolbar that you can easily access. For example, if you want to save your project, it is something that you do frequently. So this is not a time for you to click on File and look for Save. This is how to save, but to click on File, look for Save is a long process. And so on the quick access toolbar, you see the Save icon here. If you don't know what it means, when you put the mouse on it, they will write it. So you can see Save, right? This one here says undo. What's the meaning of undo? It means reverse an action. Excellent. Then we have another one. What does it say? Redo. What's the meaning of redo?
To bring back the things that you mix.
No, like what you have taken away, reverse, no, you have to bring it back.
Excellent. That's perfect. So when you reverse an action in undo and you realize that you shouldn't have reversed, you can redo. That's what it means. Now, this particular arrow here leads you to what we call customize the quick access toolbar. That means when you click on it, you can see more commands to add. I can see more commands to add. What can I add? Let me see. Open. So I'll click on it. Then you see that open will come and join my quick access toolbar. If I want more commands, I can click here and get access to hundreds of commands. So any command that I want to add to my quick access toolbar, I can just add it. All right. So you have seen the quick access toolbar, the ribbon. At the top here, you see the name of your project and the name of the software. So if your project is not yet saved, you are going to see project 1. But when you save your project, you are going to see the name of the project you are working on. So we'll be doing that. And when you change the name, it will appear here. And this just tells you the name of the project, the software you are using. It's called Project Professional. Yours is Project what? Okay, good. So they have the Project Standard and Project Professional. So the next thing is...
I'm happy with the course.
Yes. The next thing here is something very important. You can choose to drag it down or reduce the height to make room for space. So yours is like you've widened it. But look at the left side here, far left, and tell me what you see. Timeline. This timeline, this timeline is actually an amazing feature in the program. It is so amazing that they have decided to leave it on the user interface so that you can always see it. It's one of the most amazing features in the program. So at the far left, what do you see at the far left of your timeline? Okay. Is that what you have on your machine?
Yes.
Good. You see start and the date. Good. And let's move to the far right. Finish. Wow. Now, what it means is that when you start using, or when we start using this program and we actually plan a project, we can add important activities to the timeline. And what the timeline will do is to give you a bar that will show you your current stage in your project. So if you have gotten to 20%, the timeline will show you that this is where you are. From start to finish, where have you reached? And apart from where have you reached, which project are you supposed to be working on? Which task are you supposed to be working on? So the timeline will show you the list of all the important things that needs to be achieved, which ones you've already completed, where you are now, how long is left for you to complete the project. That is what it does. So when we start planning our projects, we'll see.
Sir,
Yes.
I'll be monitoring some 2 projects.
Yes.
I'll be monitoring 2 projects.
Yes.
So as we are doing, I want to update these things into my list so
Yes.
that I can use the program.
Yes. Yes. So we will plan a sample project so that you get an idea of how it works. Then tomorrow we move to another level to cover the major areas you are supposed to know. Okay. So over here from the left all the way to the right here, we call it the timeline. The timeline. So if you are someone, if you know anything about video editing, you understand timeline. If you know anything about video editing, timeline will make a lot of sense to you. We also have a timeline that will show you the current stage of your project. All right. So if you understand the timeline, let's move on to the main area where the work is going to be done. Okay, please, what do you see here? You see Gantt chart. Okay. Now, most of your planning is done in the Gantt chart view. Over here, we see what is called a Gantt chart view. The Gantt chart view has a left side which is made up of a table. The left side is a table. Do you see it on yours?
Yes.
And the right side is where the chart will show. Is a Gantt chart area. Now, what I want you to do on your machine is to reduce the height of your timeline. Watch this. Watch this. When you move your pointer to this thick line here, you see that your pointer will change to this shape. Do you see what it's showing?
Yes.
When you click and hold, you can either adjust the height. You can make it longer or you can reduce it. I want you to reduce the height of your timeline so that it doesn't take too much space. So now we are talking about the Gantt chart area. That is where the main work is done. Let me go back to the notes, and this is a view bar with the name of the current view displayed. So the current view we are having is a Gantt chart view, and the Gantt chart, there's a divider bar in the middle that leads you to what we call the table area. Over here we have the table. So this is an example of a project someone has planned. This left side is for the table where you list your tasks and their durations and start and end time, and the data of your project will be here. And over here you get a Gantt chart of whatever is going on. So whatever is going on in your project, it will show here in a Gantt chart. So later we'll learn how to read this Gantt chart, and you realize that this is something very interesting and helps you to understand how projects have been planned. All right. When we finish planning our projects, our sample project, we'll come and read the purpose of this software called Microsoft Project. So let me skip that and read what is a Gantt chart. A Gantt chart is a type of bar chart that illustrates a project schedule named after its inventor, Henry Gantt, who designed such a chart around the years 1910 to 1915.
Hey. Computer.
Well, it's a type of chart. For example, we have a pie chart. Okay, somebody invented it. This particular chart, the name is Gantt chart. The reason why it's called Gantt chart is because the person who discovered it is called Henry Gantt.
Okay.
So they just used his surname and they added it. The thing is that when Gantt chart was invented, it made a lot of sense to people who plan projects. And so it is a type of chart adopted for project management. And so that is a chart that is being used everywhere when it comes to planning projects. Now, the chart has been improved, and the modern Gantt charts also show dependency relationships between activities and their current schedule status. So over here you see the table and the tasks, and at the right side you see different activities. For example, this activity is supposed to start when this activity is completed. This activity is supposed to start just before the end of this activity. Then the lines you were showing here, you were talking about, that is what is showing here. Now, these lines you are showing here tells you the days that we are not supposed to come to work. So days that we don't come to work, for example, in this company they don't work on Saturday and Sunday. Please, are you following?
Yes.
The gray areas shows you days that work is not supposed to go on. Now, when you plan your project with this program, you plan days for work and days that we don't work. You also plan for holidays and any day that work should not go on. So the Gantt chart here will analyze the entire project from the start to finish, and any day that workers are not supposed to come to work, it will highlight those days in gray. So at the top here, you are going to see the dates. You see dates?
Yes.
You are going to see dates and the gray areas. So in this particular project, they work from Monday to Friday. They are not supposed to work on Saturdays and Sundays. So that is the meaning of the gray lines or gray areas you see over here. All right. So let's go back to the project, and today we just want to do an introduction. So let's try and plan a simple project. Before we do that, in the Gantt charts, when you zoom in, or in the Gantt charts, you can see that we have some headers here, and inside here we have some boxes. If you have used Excel before, you see that they look similar, but this is not Excel at all. Okay, now you have to understand that what I have selected just now, the header or the heading name is what? What is written here? Task name. What's the heading name of the what I've selected? Task mode. And this one? All right. So you see that when I bring my pointer on it, it changes to a down arrow. When I click, it highlights the entire list. Now, the entire list we are talking about is called a column. So this is actually a table area, and we have several columns. The first column here is titled what? Task what? This is task name, duration. What do you see here? And then, okay, that's not the end. You can come down here and use this arrow to move to the next column. So on your machine, use this arrow and tell me the name of the next column you see. Okay, good. You don't see predecessors. You don't see predecessors. You don't see predecessors. Check again. Do you have predecessors?
Yeah, after finish.
After finish, we have predecessors. Then resource names, and then what? Add new column. Good. So these are called columns. Okay. Now this bar here, you can put your mouse on it and drag it to the left side. So drag it to the far left. This bar, drag it to the far left. Good. And you should see your task mode now. Good. Now at the far left here, you see that when I send my pointer there, it turns into a right arrow, and when I click, it selects a whole list. Now these things here are called rows. So anyone that I select, I've selected a new row. So when it comes to tables, we have what I've selected is called what? A column. Now what I've selected is called what? Again, this one, what I've selected is called column. So columns are vertical, rows are what? Horizontal. Now I want to ask you a question. When you look at the duration column and this particular row, when they meet, a box is created here. This box, you can see that they have selected. Let me zoom in for you to see. You can see that the duration side is a little deep, and this side is also deep. It means that they have met somewhere. When they meet, a small box is created. What is the name of that box? Yes. When a column and a row intersect, a small box is always created. Either a rectangular box or a square box, but a box is created. Anytime a column and a row meets. Now let me move to a different row. I'm moving to a different row, and let me move to a different column. Now let me select this box here. You can see that it is from this row. The row is still highlighted, right? And over here it is from which column? Now they meet here. This column and this row, they meet here, and a certain box is created. What is the name of that box? The name is a cell. C-E-L-L. So a cell is the intersection of a column and a row. Good. C-E-L-L. So in the table area, we have several cells. In the table area, we have several cells, and in the chart area, we see a diagram. Okay, we see a diagram. One thing you can do is that the divider in the middle, you can also click on it and open it a little bit to get more view of the table area, or close it a little bit to get more view of the chart area. So I want you to move it till you can see resource names without moving the bar down here. Just move this divider line until you can see resource name at the top here. Can you see it? Excellent. So when we start using the program, these are things we'll be manipulating, so you should just know about them. Excellent. All right, so now we are going to plan a small project. So let's come up with an idea right now and plan a project and see how this program can help us manage that project. Now, you said that the course you are doing is in which area?
Construction management.
Construction management. Okay, good. So let's take a small construction project, a very small construction project. So who can give us an idea? You cancel for now. Yes. Pardon?
Foundation concrete.
Foundation concrete. Wait a minute, wait. What do we want to achieve? What are we trying to do? No, let's forget about the tasks. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to fence a land? Are we trying to build a 2-bedroom house? Are we trying to, what are we trying to do? That's what I'm asking. Okay, so we want to fence a property, right? Okay, so that is the project. Okay, good. Now let's assume that this property we want to fence is a 2-acre land. So this is what you do. You take a sheet of paper, or you can use your notepad on your computer, and you just, okay, what I did was to just open something I can use to write things down. Now before you come into your program, you should already you should do some small paperwork before you transfer it into the computer. So to do the paperwork, I can just take a paper and do that paperwork. but I'm just doing my paperwork on the computer for you to see. So I went to open a different program that can just help me write things or scribble things or jot things down. So the program I opened is called Notepad. I have put it here. So I just opened it. It's a different program. So it helps me to just write notes or just jot down ideas. Good. So it's just like a sheet of paper. Now we want to do land. Okay, let's call it property fencing.
So we can be writing.
Good. Now let's all plan together. So when we finish, then you can write. Let me increase the size so that. Okay, so we are doing property fencing, and I'll just write into bracket 2 acres. Okay, fine. Now we know the work we are going to do. First of all, let's plan when we are going to start the project and when do you think we can finish it. Let's just write that down. This one is just a sheet of paper work. Okay, good. So when do you think we should start this project?
Monday.
We should start on Monday. Okay. So now we know the name of our project and we know when we will start. Okay, let's go into the program and I'll show you. When I do it, you also do it. Okay. Now, we said that before you start any project, come to the File tab to the Backstage view, right? Please, is that what we said? Okay, good. So when you open to the program, the first thing is to come here, and the first menu you see here is called what? Info. So this info can help us put down some info. So over here, you'll be working in info and you'll be working in options. These are the two places you will go. When you come to the Backstage view, it's about info and what? Options. Good. So let's start with the info. With the info, you should just come to project what? Project information. You see a summary of a project assumption, what they think you want to do, but you have to put in what you really want to do. So you click on project information and select advanced properties. Please do that now. No, we are still in the program. Yes. Click on project information. Project information. Advanced properties. Excellent. All right. So we are going to see a dialog box, and the title is Project 1 Properties. Good. Now it has some tabs. One of the tabs selected is called Summary. So this summary, we will put some small information there. Under title, what do you see? Okay, so you watch mine. Project 1 here, I'm going to put property fencing. That's the title of our project. Property fencing, that's what I'll call it. Then over here, you put your name, you the one planning. So you can put your name here. So do that and let me see. Property fencing and put your name. Fencing. Okay, excellent. All right, have you done that? Okay, so for now, this is all we will do in the project properties. So go down and click OK. All right, so we've done what we need to do under info. Now we'll go down to which one? Options. So click on options. Options will also bring another dialog box called project options, and it has several tabs and several menus. So over here, let me show you where we'll be working. We'll be working under general, we'll be working under display, schedule, and advanced. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now under general, what are we going to do here? Under general, this is actually a place where you check certain settings. We don't do much under the general, but you just check certain settings if they are okay. For example, over here we see user interface options, screen tip style. That means whenever they are showing you a screen tip is what shows when you put your mouse on something. For example, when we put our mouse on this, they wrote undo. Do you remember? Yes. That's a screen tip. So this is a style of the screen tip. Do you want to maintain it or change it? I think it's not something we want to change. Okay, let's come to project view. The project view, which view do you want to see when you open your project? We want to see the Gantt chart with the timeline. So that is what is there, and so we are okay with it. Now your date format, do you want to change the format of your date to a different format? You will decide. You decide over here. So I think the format is okay. So once we check this and we are okay with it, we are not going to do much. One thing to over here, what do you see? Office theme. And what do you see here? Colorful. Over here, let me show you. Now what do you see here? Dark gray. So we have colorful, dark gray. What is it? And then all right, so let me choose the dark gray, and once I choose the dark gray, this is how it looks like. Let me choose a black. Okay, let me apply first. It's supposed to show, but let me apply first. Now you see that everything has turned to black. So sometimes you see someone using this program and their screen is black. It doesn't mean it's a different thing. Or when you are giving something like this to use, it doesn't mean this is different. It's the same thing. It is just the background color that has been changed. So I'm going back there under general, the way everything is black like this. If this is what you like, some people like this because to them the white background throws a lot of light into their eyes. So for them, they want something that will reduce the light that is coming from the screen. So they like the black or the dark interface. Yeah, so you will choose what you want. We have white, we have dark gray. Let me see the dark gray. It's very similar to the black. Let me click OK and we will see. Okay, so this is a dark gray, similar to the black, but it's not very dark like the black. Yes, so these are certain, they are settings, but they are not very important settings related to our project. I'm changing it back to colorful. So I'll click OK. And this is what we had, and this is what we are going to work with. So under general, you just check these settings to see if they are okay for your current project. If they are okay, you just move on to the next option here, which is what? Display. Under display, This is where you need to start paying attention. Over here, let's start with currency. Currency options for this project, and you see the name of our project here. It's still project 1. Now, which currency do you want to work with? You are going to see it here. Please go to your display and tell me the currency you see. You see USD, right? Okay. Now, if you see USD, it means that when you start working on your project, all financial figures I will be showing will be in dollars. And that may not suit certain local projects because we are in Ghana and we want it in Ghana cedis. So if you check mine is in Ghana cedis. So anytime I'm checking my costs, because one thing this program does is to let you see how much the project is going to cost. You don't do the calculation. This program is going to tell you that this project is going to cost this amount. Okay. So under currency, click here and change to the currency you want. Let's look for GHS. Look for GHS. That stands for Ghana cedi. Have you found it? So the icon will change. The symbol will change to Ghana cedi symbol. Is that what you see? Okay, this is very important because this program, it does real calculations. So you want everything to be real and accurate. So you have to come here and change the currency. All right, let me see if there's any other important thing. Okay, so for now we are okay with the display option. Let's go to schedule.
You have to say
No. When we finish everything before. Okay, so under no, just no, you don't cancel, just move to the schedule. All right. Now over here, you are going to give some information about your project and where you live. I mean, which area, which part of the world you are, and how things are done there. So, for example, when does a week start? You see Monday, right? Okay, so in some countries a week starts on Sunday. If you're in Israel, you'll see that Sunday is the first day for business.
Sunday.
Yes, they go to work on Sunday because they are Jews and their weekends are Friday and Saturday.
Okay, that's the Sabbath.
Yes. So Sunday is a working day in Israel. Okay, fine. Apart from that, each project may have its own schedule. So when does the week start for this project? So you choose. If it's Monday, you leave it. So this one will leave it at Monday.
Yeah.
Then the fiscal year starts in January. Let's leave it that way. Good. This start time, we have default start time, right? This default start time refers to the time work starts and the time work closes. So what time should what time should work begin? Because you have to consider the project we are doing. So what the project we are working on, what time do you think work should start? 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So will 8 be okay for all the masons to start work, or they will prefer to start earlier?
Let's go back to 7.
We should go back to 7.
The official working time is 8 to 5.
At least
That's for office. But this is something on a site, and it's missing that will be working. So if we say 7, it will be fine. So let's change it to 7. Now, the settings you are doing now is not for everyday life. It's for this project. And which project are we working on? The fencing. So when should work start for this project? You state there. When should work end? So let's change the work ending time to 4, so that it will close at 4. Okay. Now you can see how many hours they should work in a day. I think the settings we've done is for 8 hours. It's okay. For the week is 40. A month is 20 days. It's okay. All right. So if it's not what your project wants, you change it. But our project, I think we are okay with it. Okay, now down here we can see another scheduling option for this project. Now click on this and let me show you something. When you click on this arrow, this time you see all new projects and project 1, right? The project 1 is our project, and all new project refers to any new project you will start. So do you want the settings to apply to every new project or just this project? That's what it means. For now, let's leave it under this project. Okay. Now, the first option here says new task created. Do you want it to be manually scheduled or you want it to be auto scheduled? So let's change it to auto. And later we will understand the importance of the auto schedule, because sometimes things changes. If you are working with a manual setting, and let's say one particular task we allocated 2 days, but we realize that it's going to take 4 days. When we change it in the system, if it's under auto, it will go and readjust the entire project timelines, because one particular task, the time has changed. But if it's under manual, you have to change everything manually. So if manual is okay for you, you can use manual. If auto is okay, for now I think auto is the best option for us. All right, so let me see if there's anything to do. Okay, we are okay. Let's move to the advanced and see what it said. Yes.
What about the project start date?
Okay, good. Yes. So we will fix that as well somewhere else. Okay. So let's move to advanced. Okay, so under advanced, let's look at this area. It says display options for this project. How do you want minutes to be displayed? You want it to be displayed in MIN or minute or M. So MIN is okay. Hour is HR, day is day. Now, sometimes some people will use just D. Please watch this. Under day, some people will use D. The system recognizes D as day. So sometimes, even when you yourself you want to type day, you can just type D and it will change it to day. So we'll leave it at day, week, everything is okay. But if you want to change it, you will change it. But for now, everything is okay. Let me check down here. Okay, so now everything is okay. Let's click OK now. Click OK. Down.
Am I on course?
Yeah, you're on course. Go down and click OK. Okay, so now we've done our initial setup for us to be able to start our project. I want you to go to the project tab in the properties group and select project information. Project tab, properties group, select project information. Have you done that? Excellent. If you've done that, this is where we are going to enter our start date. We said we'll start on Monday, right?
Yes.
So Monday is 13th. So
Yes.
click on the arrow here and select 13th.
Which one?
The arrow here
Um,
and select 13th.
On the
Yes.
calendar.
Yeah, on the calendar. Excellent. On the calendar. All right. Then over here at the right side on the current date, let's check and see if the current date is correct. Is it correct? Today's date.
9. That's it.
Okay. Now the schedule, when should it begin? Should it begin on the project start date? Okay, good. So just leave it there. Schedule from project start date. I think for now everything is okay for now. Let's click OK. All right. So all that we've done is called the setup. Okay, so now we are going to start our main planning. Okay, so let me go back to the writing pad and we'll put some things down. For us to plan this project or to do our fencing is what we want to do. Now the land is bushy and a whole lot. Let's talk about a task that we will have to perform according to the order of sequence. Excellent. So what's the first thing we will do? We'll clear the site, right? Okay, so let's just go straight into the program and put that in. Now watch what I'm going to do. Under the task name, I want you to write in project fencing into bracket 2 acres like this. Type this here. Just type this here. At the top, the first cell. All right. So now that we put this here, let's come here. Click yes. Wait. Go back. Click on the arrow to go back. You wait. Okay. So please, after typing, I didn't press enter. I didn't do anything. I'm still within the cell. Now I'll just move to the right here. Just watch this. Don't worry. At the right here, you are supposed to put in the start date. So over here, you can. Okay, so we can see that the start date that we program in the system is showing here. Today is not 13, but it's telling us start 13th. I think we are okay with that. Okay, how long do you think it will take us to fence a 2-acre land? Just think about it practically. 2 acres of land, 8 plots in a bush, you want to fence it. How long will it take?
Depending on the number of people you.
So
Let's say 2 weeks.
2 weeks should be okay. Yeah? Let's make it
Okay, a month.
a month, 30 days. Okay, good. So let's go to finish. When will the 30th day be?
That is
So let's select October 15th. 15th of October. So go to finish. Under finish, there's an arrow next to finish. Please watch this. When you come to finish, you see the dates here they've given. Click on the arrow next to the date they've given.
Okay.
If you don't see the arrow, click inside the box and the arrow will show. No, down where they've given the date. Click inside the date they've given. Select the arrow and choose October. So move to October and select 15th. Okay. So now click outside in any of the cells and it is set. Excellent. Now that's okay. we are going to now put in our task one by one. So you said the first task is what? Clearing of the land, right? So this is what we will do. Over here we'll type land clearing. Let me finish before you do yours. So land clearing. Let's come here and decide when it will start. Okay, so here I'm seeing that something has changed here. So I don't know how it changed. I'm going to fix it back. I don't know if yours too is like that. The start, has your start changed? No, click on it to back to 13th of September. 30th September. Go back to 13th September. Good. Then it will give you an estimation of the days. So they've written 24.88 or 29 days. How many days do you see? And the duration? Project fencing.
24.88 days.
So they are telling us that looking at the date range you have selected from start to finish, it will take about 25 days. So that's what it means. Okay, so now watch what I'm going to do here. Under this, I've typed land clearing, and the land clearing will start on day 1. Now think of 2 acres of land. How long will it take to finish clearing the 2 acres of land? 2 acres. Okay, how will it be done?
The plant, you use a drill down backhoe.
So one day. Okay. So one day will be enough.
Yes, more than enough.
Okay. So when you, okay, so now watch mine. So you can see that it will start on Monday and end on Monday. I'm not going to touch it because it's one day. Now they are asking me, is it one day? I need to confirm that it's one day. So this is what I'll do. I'll come here and I'll type 1D and click outside. They will now remove the question mark and accept that it's a one-day task. Now the one day, I could have typed 1 day in full, but I told you that the system recognizes D. It knows D as day. So when I say 1D, it will take it as 1 day. Okay, so please put land clearing and set the date. Okay, the date will be set for you, and make sure it's 1 day. Do that on your machine now. So you've done that. Now one important thing we have to do. This particular land site, land clearing, please watch mine. It is under the main project here. Now the system doesn't know that, so it is taking it as a new major list. So what we are going to do is to move up under the task tab. We have left indent and right indent. We are going to click on the right indent, and what it will do is to move this task under the main project. So select the land clearing, just click on it. Make sure you are on the task tab and in the schedule group, and select right indent or indent tags. Just click on it once. Okay, so on the task tab in the schedule group, you see the indent. The indent, you just use the icon to tell. This one, look for it and click on it once. I said the task tab.
The task tab.
Yes, the task tab, schedule group.
Task tab.
Click on it. Click on the task tab, then schedule group.
Okay.
Then you find the right indent.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Good. So once you do that, it will place this task under the main project. Now everything will make more sense to the system. And inside the chart area, they've started drawing a chart for the planning we are doing. So let's continue with the planning. We have, after land clearing, what are we going to do next? excavation. Okay, so we are going to type excavation. Please watch mine when I finish and you do it. Is that how to spell it?
No, EX.
EX. Okay. CA. Is it CAR or CA?
It's correct.
It's correct. Okay, excavation. Okay, so when is excavation going to start? Day 2. Excellent. Okay, now you can see that I want to work here, but the space here is not really enough, so I'm not feeling comfortable. I can come here and open this a little so that I can see well. So if you need to do that, you can do that. So now day 2, let me finish and you do. I'll come here, click here, go to the calendar and select the date. It's 14th, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, okay, it's asking me to create links. We'll talk about links soon. Link the excavation will allow you to, will always follow. Okay, so there are some projects or some tasks. Let me use the word task. There are some tasks that they are supposed to follow other tasks, or they cannot be done until other tasks are completed.
Yes.
So this excavation is one example. If the land is not clear, the excavation cannot be done. That's why it's asking us to link them. So I'll just click OK, and the linking will be created. This linking, we should have actually done it manually. So okay, how many days will the excavation take? How long will it take? 3 days. Okay, good. Now
That is okay, we are just exaggerating, right?
no.
We should be actual.
Yes.
No, if so, then are we using plants? If plants, it can be done a day or 2 days maximum.
Yes. So that's why they are
2
using
days. Okay. So inside here, instead of typing this time, I'll just use this arrow to increase it to 2 days.
Okay.
So I want you to do excavation and put down this information here. When they ask you to link, just cancel. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. So what you are seeing, cancel it. What is it? Okay, so good. So the finish date is when? 15. Good. Now this is what I want to show you. I want to create some room for us to see what is here. These are predecessors. Now, the linking that you saw is all about indicating the predecessors. Predecessors refers to the task that must be completed before this task can begin. So, when you come here, you can see that the rows are now being numbered. Which one is 2? Land clearing is 2, right? When it comes to predecessors, type the row number of the task that must complete before this can begin. So the predecessor of this particular task is land clearing. That means if land clearing is not completed, this cannot start. So now when you look at my Gantt chart, you can see that there's a link now because I have a predecessor. So if you don't have a predecessor, put your predecessor there. It is very important. That's the meaning of the linking. So create your predecessor, and your predecessor is number what? Good. So type it there. Click there. No. On the excavation.
On the excavation.
Yes. This thing, you don't make mistakes.
Yes.
No. Under predecessors. Yes.
Okay.
Type 2 and tell me why you are typing 2. Yes. Type it first. Click outside and see what happened and check the chart. You see that a link has been created.
Yes.
So tell me why you put 2 there.
For 2 days.
No. That's not what we are talking about.
Put the two there.
Yes.
Without the land clearing, you can't continue with excavation.
Oh, okay.
So what's the meaning of the two?
The two now is that you complete land clearing.
No.
That is the two here. The two are
The two here.
two number indicating for
Land clearing.
land clearing.
Yes, it means row 2.
Ah.
If you check here, you see that the rows have numbers. We have 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Row 2 is land clearing. So under predecessors, all they want is a row number.
Okay.
As for land clearing, it will not have a predecessor because nothing will be done before it can be done. It is a first task. So it doesn't have a predecessor. Some tasks do not have predecessors, some do. If it has a predecessor, you have to enter it because the system will plan your whole project for you.
Okay.
So if you don't give the information right, the information is going to give you will also not be accurate.
Okay.
So this is important, and you can see in the Gantt chart that there's a link created. That means this has to finish before this will continue. Okay, let's continue with the next activity, the next task. What after excavation? What is next?
Foundation concrete.
Foundation concrete. Wait, oh. After excavation, immediately we finish excavation, we are going to cast concrete. Oh, okay.
You can do that in bottom level.
Level of the trenches.
Okay, so the trenches will be done in excavation, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Excavation is a trench.
Okay. So right now,
Sir, please, before you go on.
yes,
So now,
you have some information down there. What is that?
down was that?
Yes, what is that?
1.8.
What is that? It's not supposed to be there. Click, right click on it and delete. Right click and delete. Do you see delete? Yes, good. So
I was
yes.
asking, the row 3 activity.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for putting 2 as the predecessor
Yes,
is that after land clearing, before the excavation will come. That
Yes.
is why we are putting the 2
exactly. That's the reason and the only reason.
here. Okay. And then the row 2,
Yes.
similarly or the same is the 2 you have here.
Yeah, that 2 is telling the system that row 2, the task on row 2, is a predecessor of this particular task. So this particular task is excavation, and its predecessor is land clearing. Okay, so now before we cast the concrete, I think we'll need some materials. So let's purchase materials. Or we won't purchase materials.
We will have to purchase.
Good. So
But sir, if we should like purchasing, then why didn't you go hiring of plants? The plants that will do the excavation.
everything has to come in now. Everything has to come in. Everything has to come in. So what will happen is that before the excavation, let's insert a new task. So what I did was that, please watch mine. Before excavate, I came to row 3. I did right click and I went to insert task. So a new task has been created here. So here, hiring of what? Plants.
It should then
Or where should it be?
should be one.
At the top, if
The
you
land
give-
clearing.
Before the land clearing.
Yes.
Oh,
Hire
okay.
plant for land clearing. Kakele, we never know where the woman. Hiring of plants.
Yes. Because it's all part of the project. Because when you are planning, cost and everything should be in.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay.
So let me insert it here rather
Yes.
and highlight and type over it.
Okay.
So purchase, is it hiring
Of plants.
of plant like this?
Yes.
Good. And
I think we can make it dozer.
dozer,
Yes.
hiring of dozer.
Yes.
Okay, so if you double click it, this will open and you can edit it here. So dozer, how do you spell it?
D-O-Z-E-R.
Hiring of dozer. Okay, so let me just click OK and we'll continue here. So hiring of dozer, we'll hire it on day 1. When are we going to finish using it?
That's it.
We'll finish the same day. Okay, so here I'll just put 1D and to mean 1 day. Okay, and to start on the same day, let me open this a little. Okay, and after dozer we have land clearing.
Yes.
After land clearing, excavation, then purchase.
But even with that,
Yes.
after hiring of dozer, that will do the clearing of site. That's the land clearing. We can change the land clearing to clearing of site.
Okay.
Clearing of site.
Okay. So clearing of sites.
Yes.
Okay.
Then after that, I don't know whether let's say if we should hire a backhoe can do clearing and at the same time do excavation. You understand? So either we'll go for a backhoe, a dozer can excavate.
No, that dozer just do the clearing.
The clearing. Then also have to go and hire a backhoe now.
But no, by this one we are using manual.
The excavation is manual.
Yes, we are using manual.
Excavation is manual.
Yeah.
Then if
So
you
that's
have
why we
2
are
days.
taking 2 days.
Hey, let's be real.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, so if we are
Then let's hire another backhoe for before the excavation. We have to hire another backhoe.
Okay. Okay. So let me insert another task here, and we will say we'll call it hiring of what?
Backhoe.
Back
Yeah.
H
H-O-E.
backhoe.
Okay.
Okay.
Can be one.
It can be one.
Yes.
Okay. So excellent. So that will be done on 14th, right?
yes.
So
On day 2.
yes, on day 2. But I have 1 day or 1 day. So that will be a day.
Okay. So that one to be a day.
Yes.
Alright, so it's asking me to link. I'll just go ahead and link, but this linking I've already told you. Okay, let me click on this, then I'll put it there myself. So this hiring of backhoe is a 1 day work, and it will be done after the land is cleared, right?
Yes.
So which predecessor am I going to put here? You will know by checking the row number of clearing of site. It's 3, right? So here my predecessor is 3. Excellent. So that is it here.
So now we have to take off the first, the 3 at the bottom.
No.
It should still be there.
It's still there. It's still there because excavation will happen after clearing. So it is still valid. It is still valid.
So excavation will be 1 day.
Excavation, okay, we have 2 days. It's 1 day, eh?
Yes.
Oh,
With
okay.
the help of the plants.
Okay, so now let me come here and edit the finish date.
Okay.
So I'll edit finish date to what?
14.
No,
15.
we started from 14th, eh?
13th is the.
No, okay. So excavation, we started on 14th. It will finish on 15th. So here should be 1 day. Okay.
Excavation will finish the same 14th.
The same 14th. We finish the same 14th. Good. Okay, good. All right. So the next thing is the purchase of materials, and it's a 1 day task, and the purchasing of the materials When will it be done?
Okay, whilst excavation is going on, we can do the purchasing.
Okay, so we'll do it on 14th. Okay, this thing you can check here so that it doesn't disturb you again. But I'll just choose this and click OK. So for purchase of material, it doesn't need a predecessor. We can even choose to buy the material day one. So I'll not give it a predecessor, because a predecessor is only given if it is that task must begin after the predecessor. This one, it is not compulsory like that, so I'll give it a predecessor. All right, so please complete yours so you have what I have, then we'll continue. Are you done?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's move on to the next task. So after we purchase our materials, then the next task will be what?
Sir, are we not going to mention the name of materials?
We will later somewhere else. No, somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah.
Yes. All right. So after purchase of material, what is next?
Then, casting of foundation concrete.
Casting
Of foundation concrete.
of foundation concrete.
Oh, let's just write foundation concrete.
Okay, foundation concrete.
Yes.
All right. So foundation concrete, how long will it take? When will it start? Which day? Will it be the next day? On 15th. Start on 15th. And when is it going to end?
It's also 1 day.
It's a 1 day work.
Yeah.
For 2 acres.
Yes.
It's 1 day. Okay.
Yeah, mixer. You start it after then we try to after.
So we need to hire the mixer.
Yes, hiring of concrete mixer and the purchase of material.
Okay. So hiring of concrete mixer, and that will be done on the 15th, right?
Yes.
And it's a 1 day work.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this one needs a predecessor, and the predecessor will be excavation. So excavation, which number am I going to put? 5. So we'll come here and put 5. Okay, so once you do that, you see that the link is established here. All right, then casting of foundation concrete is 1 day, and it also starts on 15th, finish on 15th. It also needs 5 as the predecessor. Okay, so after casting of foundation, what is next?
When we start,
Block plate.
okay, then we have to make block.
The block that is
But we have to mold blocks first, or we'll buy the blocks. Okay, so let's purchase the blocks now.
Let's assume it is part of the materials procured.
Ah, good. It's true. That's good. So now we will do what?
Lane.
Lay.
Lane of fence wall.
footing.
How many people go to the garden?
So
No, vacuum. I'm going to call himself. No, okay, vacuum. Because they don't know, there's a fence now, we're not reason they. No, walking about box there. You know, other cars, columns are. Look at that, they block up. But then vacuum, that's like, oh, you know, well, they play back to the lane and block out. And they developers.
Okay.
So it's lane of fence wall.
all right. Now, when will it start?
After the
That's 16th.
Just 1 day?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Will it dry?
Yes. Even sometimes we cast and lay the same
The
day.
same day. Wow. And when are we going to finish the fencing? That one will take time, eh?
Yes.
For 2 acres.
A mason.
It depends on the number of masons we have. Okay.
So I think we'll have later to come in.
Oh, we'll plan all that.
We'll plan all that. Okay, so the lane of.
So how many masons do you think we'll use?
We are using 5.
We are using 5 masons.
5 masons.
Okay.
10 libras.
So laborers 1 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 1.
1 to 1. Make a concrete for them. And mortar for them. And make a block for them.
Okay.
How
many additional things you may okay, mason and man and
mason 5.
5, okay, give it 10. No problem. That's like 15.
5 masons, 10 libras.
Okay, so let's keep that in mind. We will, yes. There's a place to put them.
Because the Catalan lay 120. I'll only do the Catalan lay 90 blocks.
90, not so more. 120,
120 about. Okay. 120. The number of blocks we lay there will go on. You will go on. 10 days for blocking. That's not fun. 5 days. Okay. We use 5 days for blocking.
Is that realistic? I mean,
if we should have
5.
If we have number of the blocks.
5 masons and.
If we have number of the blocks, then we know that one mason can take 120, can lay 120 a day.
But it's 2 acres, so.
So area, total area divided by an area of the block. Use the 10 days.
10 days is fine.
10 days, or even 12 because of casting of columns.
Columns have or is it 10 days for the blocks?
It's still 10 days.
So the fencing, we are putting all the activities together.
Yes.
So should it be 12 days or 10?
Yeah.
Still bending work will come in, everything. Okay, so now we're on 16th. So 16th, we work on 17th, 20th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we finish on 4th of October. Finish 4th October, and it's going to be 12 days. And this one is a predecessor. This one, okay, so this is what we will do. Clearing of site is there, that's number 3. Excavation is number 5, and then we have foundation 8. So 3, 5, 8. So this is what we'll do. The predecessors will be 3, 5, 8. Yes, yes, because they will all be done before this will be done. So some projects will have multiple predecessors. Yes, some tasks will have multiple predecessors. So this is how it's going to be. So finish working on yours like this and we'll continue.
So the 3, 5, 8, what's the meaning?
Okay, so 3 means task 3, which is clearing of sites.
Okay.
5 means excavation. 8 means foundation concrete. All those things need to be done before this can be done. That is why they are called predecessors. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good.
So,
Yes.
can you please minimize
Okay. The duration. Okay. Okay, please, are you done?
Yes.
Excellent. So you can see the chart being drawn, and this is called a Gantt chart. So okay, so are we done?
Starting from 16.
Weekends are not part, oh.
Sorry?
Weekends are not part.
Yes, I didn't touch the finish. Immediately I set the 12 days.
Yes,
then
it
came automatically.
as what?
It will end on the 1st of that's October
1st October. I think that is right.
21.
Yes, let's change it to 1st October. Yes, let's change it to 1st October. I think that is right. It's okay. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. So 1st October is right. So sometimes you can input the duration and it will give you the finish date. Okay, so are we done?
Yes.
So that means the whole project took 15 days. So look up under the first task, project fencing, the duration. What do you see there?
15 days.
So because all these tasks are under this project, it will tell you the total duration.
The finish date is here.
Yes.
I do what?
Yes. So that's why we had to create that first one, so that all these ones will be under them, under that one. All right. So this is fine. So we are not done. Right now we've only listed the task. We now have to talk about the resources. That's another aspect of this planning. So if you look at the columns after predecessors, we have, what do you have? Just look on the screen.
Resource names.
Yeah, resource names, right? Now these resource names, before we can get them, we need to plan the resources somewhere before we can input them here. So to plan the resources, over here where you see the Gantt chart, when you click on this, you will see resource sheet. Click on it, go to resource sheet. If it were okay, wait. Before, let's save our work so that everything will be easier. So on the quick access toolbar, you see a save icon there. Top left here. Yes. If you are not finding it, just click on File and Save. File, Save. Good. Now, when you want to save, another window will open. This is what you do. Please watch me. So if you want to save and you see this, click on Browse so that you will choose where you want to save it. So here, let's say we want to save it in Documents. So over here, you can see Documents here. So click on Documents. So click on Browse now and go and click on Documents. Yes, at the left side, find Documents and click on it. Have you done that? Now we want to put it in a folder because it's an important work. We don't want it to just be lying down. So over here, you see Create New Folder. Click on it, and yes, what will show? No, Create New Folder. Top, go up. Up,
Yeah.
up, left. Good, good. Yes. New folder. So whatever you are seeing, just type over it. So we will type property fencing project. Type property fencing project. Just like I've done. Okay, wait. Under property fencing, after typing that, okay, so press enter first on your keyboard, then double click on it, double click on the folder, double click. Okay, it's okay if you've done that already. So you can double click or press enter again. Now you have to pay attention to this area. Wait, please follow what I'm doing. Right now what we've done is to create a folder and open the folder. We are inside the folder, so you see that there's nothing in the folder. Now we are about to save our work. So over here you pay attention to here. What do you see here?
Project 1.
Okay, so this particular project 1, we are going to we are going to do this, highlight project 1 like this, and we are going to give the name of our project, and we said it is property fencing. Please watch mine first. Property fencing, let me see, 2 acres like this, and the .mpp, don't touch it.
It does not appear here.
It doesn't appear.
Yeah, no.
Okay, if it's not appearing, don't worry, because it's down here, it will work. Because it's down here, it will work. You see it down there, right?
It's not there at all.
It's not there.
No.
What do you see?
Nothing.
Okay, please
It
click.
said no item. Or I double click the
Okay, click cancel. Let me see. Click cancel. Okay. All right. Now click on save again, or save as. Okay, click on browse. You are there already. Click on browse. Then click on the folder we created, property fencing. Property fencing, yes. Double click. Okay, good. It's okay. Just change the project 1 to this name. It will work. It will be okay. So change it to property fencing into bracket 2 acres. Yes. When you finish, just click on save. All right. So just click save. All right. So now let's check the top here and see whether you can find that over there. Do you see there? Excellent. So that means we are right. Now we are going to plan the resources. Do you remember where I asked you to click?
Yes.
Where did I tell you to go?
Gantt Chart.
Click on Gantt Chart, the arrow down there, then select what?
Resource sheet.
Resource sheet. Click on it. All right. So this is another important window where resources are planned. When we talk about resources, resources include labor and materials. So here, the labor must be carefully listed here, and the materials will also be listed. So you watch mine and then you will do yours. Now,
So what about plants?
yeah, the plant, yes, you also be part. Okay, So right now, let's start with the workers. The engineer. Okay. So do you call him contractor or engineer?
Because the contractor has who is supervising the project.
Okay. So the contractor must be part.
Okay.
So contractor. So you watch mine. When I finish, then you understand. Then the engineer, and then
The
foreman. How do you spell foreman?
R-E-N-A.
Foreman. Okay. Then
the
laborers. Okay.
You can say the
Tradesmen.
tradesmen.
Masons. Okay.
Carpenters.
Masons come first.
Yes.
So masons. Okay. Now, sometimes we list the masons by name. Okay. Because we don't want it to be too complicated, let's just put them together. And when we are indicating how much we will pay them, we'll put it together. Because over here, based on the lists, you need to indicate how much each person will be paid. So
You mean
yes, under resources,
by name?
yes, we list by name.
Oh,
Yes, then we will indicate how much, because not everyone charges the same. But for this work, let's put all the masons together. We'll give them this equal amount.
okay.
So we'll just call them masons. Then after you said the laborers, carpenters,
Still vendors.
then laborers. You mentioned something.
Grants.
No, when we were talking about the laborers, you mentioned something. I thought the laborers have another name. You were saying something.
Trade.
Trade.
That will comprise of mason, carpenters,
Ah.
and most of the time they all take the same by the wage.
Okay, so let's list them like this. This is right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's go to the plant. So which plant did we have first?
Those are
Dozer, then
Backhoe,
backhoe,
concrete mixer, ER.
the mixer. Is that how, no, this is not how they spell it. ER.
Yes.
Okay. And then we have the materials, right? So cement,
Also, okay.
chippings.
Shippings, sand,
water.
board,
Board, wood,
yes, okay. Nails, binding wire, still look for iron rod. Medium.
Block.
is that it?
Yes.
Okay. So now, over here, after entering the resource name, you need to choose a type. The type, if it is a person, a worker, or a tool, you can use work. And if it's a material, you can change it. So this is a material, right?
Yes.
Concrete is cement is material, so we'll use material. Then chippings is also material, so we'll use material for all of these. I hope they are all materials.
Yes.
we should put cost.
You wait, I'm coming. So now, what happens is that under here we have STD rate, standard rate, overtime rate. Let's not deal with overtime. Let's look at standard rate. Now the standard rate here, you see that it is per hour. So let's take each one of them, like the workers. How much they are paid per hour. This is what you need to input here. So let's just assume that a contractor, how much the contractor will charge per hour. This is per hour.
Let's say a mason takes 80 cedis a day. So 80 divided by 8 hours more than
Yes. So that will be 10 cedis per hour.
10 cedis per hour.
Yes. So the masons will be 10. So the laborers, okay.
The contractor said the contractor is not going to pay the workers. So for profit's sake, we will add some fraction or some percentage to the 10 cedis per hour. So let's add about 5% to the 10 cedis, which will be 105. Right?
Why?
The contractor will have to make a profit on all these people. I can't just take the money and pay you. So the contractor will have to make a
Then
profit.
we'll give them 12 cedis per hour.
So that means the contractor 15 cedis.
So the contractor will charge 15 cedis.
That's his hourly rate.
Yes.
Is it not too less? Or it's okay?
I will make it 20 cedis.
Okay, so let's make contractor 30, then this one will be 25, then this will be 20.
No, contractor is never with 20.
20, okay. Then foreman will be 15.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do it that way for now. So we have 15 here, we have 20 here, and we have 30 here. Good. Then these ones will give them 12 cedis. 12 cedis each.
So 12 times 8 is Yammer. That's 960. It's too much.
It's too much, 11.
105. 10 cedis, 50. 10 cedis. Okay. No, profit general contract. Okay. The 10 cedis is okay.
Okay, so now the dozer per hour, how much should we pay per hour for the dozer?
The dozer, they take about 6,500
A day.
a day. Or 6,500. Backhoe, they take 3,300 because it includes fuel, operators, daily wage, and then for the plant. So dozer, you can make it 6,500
That's for a day.
for a day.
So let's divide it by 8. Okay. So 6,500 divided by 8. That's 812.5.
Okay. 800.
800. Okay. So let me make this 800. And then the backhoe. How much do they charge a day? 3,000. So divided by 8 hours. 375. So 375. Then this is the concrete mixer per hour.
We take about 550, 600
A day.
a day.
So 600.
We have not added concrete mixer operator.
Is included. Because they normally
Even the dozer operator, the backhoe operator.
Is it not included in their cost, like their charge?
Anyway, okay.
because they always include it.
Okay, 75 per hour for the concrete mixer. Now cement, how much is one cement? 46. Then the chippings.
The 20 cubic is 3,000
for one trip.
Yes.
Then sand.
1,000. No, it's 1,000.
Then water.
500 cities.
Then wood.
Wood. The price around 45 cities.
45 for one. Then nails. 50 cedis. Then binding wire. 30. Then iron rods.
So it should be 12 mm iron rod.
12 mm.
Yes.
So when we say iron rod, we will leave it. We will leave it like that. You let me just call iron rod. It's okay. So for each one, how much will it cost?
That's 45.
35. Yes, wait. Iron rods, yeah, 45. Then we have blocks. How much is one block? 4 cedis. Okay. All right. So we have listed our resources. When you are using this program, after planning the tasks, you need to come to the resource sheets and plan the resources just like we have done. After this is what we'll do. We'll click on the quick access toolbar, save. This is save, just to save changes to our work. That means what we've added should be saved. Good. Now you see the Gantt chart here. This box. Now we are not clicking on the arrow. We are clicking on this box. This box is different from the arrow. The arrow is what we use for the list. For now, just click on this icon here, and it will switch you back to where we plan our task. Remember here?
Yes.
Good. Then let me open this a little and take you to where resources are allocated. Under resource names. Now, hiring of the dozer, we need to come to resource names. Watch this. Click here and click on this arrow. Then all our resources will show here. So, hiring of the dozer, we will come and check the dozer itself. Now, if someone was responsible for the rounds, the person's name has to be checked. That's why I was talking about names. Now, hiring of the dozer, will it be someone's work or it is not a work? The dozer will be paid for, but getting the dozer, will it be someone's? So we should put under engineer. So here, add engineer too. So you check dozer, check engineer. Foreman to be part. Okay, so let's check the 3 and let's click outside. Now when I click outside, you see that dozer, engineer, foreman will be here. And when you come here, this task has its resources next to it. Do you see? These are the resources, and this is the name of the task. This is a task in the chart. Resources will be next to it. Let's go to the next task. Clearing of site. Clearing of site. Let's come here. And the clearing of sites, what are we using? The backhoe. And are we going to have some people, some of our workers? Engineer will be there. Former will be there. Okay, that means they'll go to work, right? Okay. Contractor will not be there.
No, the contractor will be presented by the engineer.
Okay. All right. So that's it. So that's it. The next task is hiring of the. No, what have we done? No, clearing of site. Okay, so for the clearing of site, okay, here the backhoe will not come here. If not, they will. No. Wait, oh. The first task was hiring of the dozer.
For clearing of site.
Yes. So now the clearing of site, who will be there to supervise it is the engineer and the foreman.
Yes.
So we'll leave it that way. Dozer will not come again because dozer is already added here. If not, the cost will double. Okay. So hiring of the backhoe. So here we. Yes.
The first one we have dozer. That's hiring of dozer. So
engineer should not be there. Excellent, excellent. So here, whatever you put here, it is like sending people to work.
Yes.
So you have to be careful because if you don't do here well, your cost will be inflated.
Yeah.
So let's remove engineer and foreman. Okay, because they will show here. Good. So here, hiring of backhoe will just be backhoe, and the excavation will be supervised by who? Engineer and foreman. Good. Then we have the purchase of materials. So here, this is what we will do. Engineer will be there, foreman will be there. Okay. So here we'll list all the materials we are going to purchase. So nails, sand, water, wood, cement, chippings, binding wire, blocks, iron rods. Is that it? Okay, so these are the materials we are going to buy. Good. So these are the materials. Now, all the materials will be listed here, and inside here, you are seeing that there's one inside it. Good. So what I did here was that I double click on it. When you double click on it, this dialog box will show. And when the dialog box shows tax information, you go to resources, and the list we gave will show here again, what we just selected. Then under units, we need to enter the quantity. So binding wire, how many do we need? One coil. So that one coil is a 30 cedis. Good, so we'll leave it at 1. Then blocks, how many do we need? Hey, leave enough.
We'll use more than 5,000, 6,000 blocks. So we can say 8,000 or 10,000 blocks.
Okay, 10,000 blocks. All right. Then let's come here. Cement, how many bags?
Divide 10,000 divided by 60.
Divided by 60.
Okay. For cement, I know you have 60 about concrete.
So when I divide it, I get 166.66. So let's round it to 180. Okay, 180. Good. Then the chippings, 1 is okay, 35. And okay, I shouldn't have brought engineer here. I'll go and remove it. Okay. Then iron rods. How many do we need?
Two for one color. So, let's make it 1 acre. That is 100 feet. That's 200 feet. No, 10 feet, 10 feet. 20 plus 1. That is 21. 4
Then they normally order
it's 200 by 200.
by Digiman. You want my 6 feet in your Digiman. How?
height.
Height.
And not a mutual very not. I'm not sure. Oh,
Kila the car. Okay. Which is
21,
you
21
need
times 4, let me call it.
a two.
We're going to 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Element. And
Now, almost about almost.
see how many you want to put there. 21 and
Not 21.
21 times 4. Element. Times 4. Element.
You know of no one had the car. Then after you put the car in your money.
That's the no. I'm going to tell you along.
Almond.
Hey, can you do almost? Yeah. No,
The car will kill her. I will kill her. My sis meters. You need to do that.
Can you do one column?
Hey,
Me like how they know.
me like
You won't like you and I don't know. Stirrups. That's a great road.
Yeah, so
Okay, start 21 times 4, 42, 84. 84 columns. 84, anyway, 90 iron rod. 90.
So 90, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Then nails.
You have forgotten something.
What?
That is the 8 rod for stirrups. The square one that holds the upright, upstanding.
Okay, we'll add it. Okay. So nails, how many? One is okay.
No.
Okay.
Two.
Because it's only with
4.
because two each for that one.
Okay. So sound will be one trip, eh?
No, 1 trip will not be enough.
3. Okay. And water.
Water, let's say.
We are liters or
You said 500 for each unit. So
gallon,
Let's say 6, around 1,000. That's 100,000. 10,000 liters. So let's say 5. 5,000, what's your value? Okay, let's make it 4.
then wood. One is 45. How many are we going to?
Let's go
20. All right. So I will click OK, and under the materials is going to put in based on what we just gave. But yes, but we are supposed to add some items.
Yes.
So we'll go back to the resource sheet. You remember how we got the resource sheet? We click on here and we came to resource sheet. You remember?
Yes.
So over here, engineer is not supposed to be part of. No, wait. Sorry. No. Okay. So let's add what you said we should add. Yes.
Where do we, for instance, where do we add costs? Because
Wait. You don't worry. We'll get there.
So,
We'll get there.
So we have
Right now, you said we should add what?
6 mm. Okay, just put iron rod, no dimension. So another iron rod. The first one I was saying should be 12 mm.
So we can change it. We can change this to 12 mm. Then we have iron rods, 6 mm material. And that one, how much is one?
you're not 76.
Why you 14 or
15 cedis. All right. So now I'll go back to my work. Remember how we got back to where we are working? How did we go back?
We go to the chart.
The Gantt chart, and you click on this icon. Good. Now here, later I'll talk about these red pictures here. But let me go to the materials. I think there was a mistake inside. I added engineer. Did we choose engineer for materials? He will go and buy it. Okay. All right. Okay, good. That's fine. Now, wherever you see red here, it means the person has multiple tasks. So when I put this is a screen tip. It says that this task has a start no earlier than the constraint Tuesday. This task has over allocated resources. Click for options, and the resources here is under engineer. When we went to the resource sheet or resource sheet, you see that the engineer is the one in red. What it means is that on this particular day, he has other things doing. And for him to be on this duty is also it's an over allocation of resources. So what you can do is that you need to
Get the procurement.
okay, because what it means is at that same time he's supposed to be doing something else. So we've added him to another task at that same time. So that is it. But let me see.
Oh. Yeah, we want copy. The site there. All right, so when you see something like this, one way you can solve it is to come to the resource tab, and under level resource you can click level, or let me zoom in for you to see over here under level. So when you click level, or it's sometimes okay, let me click on it. It will go through and fix. You see that it's gone. So it will fix the activities, and because we are using automatic scheduling, it can readjust how the work should be done, so that the resource will not be over allocated. So I think when I click the level, or some few changes have been made, so the purchase of the item has been moved to 15th, right? Good. And because that particular worker or engineer so the system has done the leveling. So for now, let's leave it that way. We'll come back to it. So where did we get? Okay, we got to hiring of mixture of concrete mixer. Okay, so the mixer, let me correct the spelling. It's mixer. Hiring of concrete mixer. Okay. All right. So let's go to resource allocation for this task, and hiring of concrete mixer will be the concrete mixer itself. Let me see what will be next. Okay, so this will be the concrete mixer. What are we using? Concrete mixer. Good. Then over here we have the foundation concrete. So all those who will be working this day will take them here. We have the who and who. Engineer will be here.
Foreman will be there. Masons, okay, all the masons will be there. The laborers will be there. Is that it? Okay, good. So that is it. Okay. So the laying of the fence too, we'll come here and choose all those who will be working. So here we have carpenters will be there.
No.
Oh, carpenters will not be there.
No.
So when would the carpenters work?
After the block laying.
No.
It's not giving to. We have to put casting of columns. into it.
Before the
That's
laying of fence, eh?
No. After laying of fence.
Ah.
The columns.
Oh, okay.
So masons and laborers.
Okay, so this will be the work of masons, laborers. Will engineers be there?
Yeah.
Foreman will be there.
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's add the next task, which is what?
Casting of columns in wall.
Of columns.
Yes, casting of columns in wall.
I think columns is okay, right? We understand it. Okay, so that will be done after the fence is laid. Okay, so fence will finish on first. So that will when will we start that?
It may not necessary that it starts after, but you can start with it because
Okay.
Some will be completed
before.
Okay. So when do you think they should start?
because they can start. It starts on the 16th, right?
16th, yes.
So let's say after 3 days, 19th or 20th.
Then you can say
20th.
20th.
Yes.
Okay. And they will finish after this is done. So they will finish around October. When should we give him 7th?
The block laying.
The block will finish on 1st.
On the 1st.
And that's on Friday. Saturday we don't work. Sunday we don't work. So the next day will be 4th. So
we should do it up to 8.
8th. Okay, good. All right.
That's so 20th. And there is no way the foundation column concrete will go. You can't nail to the wall.
Because we will be doing the form after they will do the form work. The carpenter will do the form work before the block builder will be there. The steel builder will be there. Then the carpenter will be there.
Yes.
Before the business. So I think it's okay. Because
So the steel bender will have to come in.
Yes.
The steel bender will have to come before the carpenter.
But they are all doing the same
Yeah,
work.
they are all
So we'll assign them.
Okay.
So
14 days is too much.
It's too much. But it can't go beyond the first.
no, it has to be after. Yes,
Cannot precede first.
it has to be after the first.
Yes.
So okay, so let me enter. How many days do you think they should use to work?
10 weeks. Okay, 10 days.
Okay, so I give them 10 days and
23rd so
23rd. Okay, so 23rd. Okay, let me see. 23rd. Okay. Yes, so I think to be 6. That'll be 10 days. And this one,
but since the law enforcement will have to be done before the carpentry work. So this should come first. The steel bending should come first.
so steel bending work should come first
Come first.
before the casting of column.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So still bending works, or how do you put it?
Yes, yes.
Still
But
bending.
there is something that we are not doing. The still bending can commence when the block laying also commences, or even before we start the block laying.
Okay, so you whenever the still bender will start work, let's choose. So the block laying, we did it on the 16th, right?
Yes.
So when do you want the still bender to start
It
work?
can also start the same day. We will be forming
Okay.
the metal work.
Okay, so 16th.
So let's do them do it.
From
Okay. Fixing, molding at that time, yeah, she should not be part of it. So I think this.
So how many days?
What black I thought that can only know what to go. We will start now with the space that we will take them the carpet to the boss and go fast. What time we pass and point the blocking is ongoing.
They can fix.
We will be forming the column bars down. Whilst the blocking is also ongoing. Immediately they finish the inside stuff, then they cover it and start.
So you can start from the same day.
Okay, so when would they finish? They will finish after the block laying, right?
No, it can be before. So if block laying is taking how many days?
12 days.
12 days. And this one can give them, let's say, 10 days because it's many. And how many are we engaging? Still vendors.
Still vendors, yeah.
Still vendors, there should be 3. Because we are doing over 200 and something pounds. So there should be 3 for 3 still vendors for
Okay.
8 days or 10 days.
So let me put 10 days here. Okay. Now let me check the resource sheets again.
Now, we need it.
Let me check the resource sheet and see. The masons. Let me see masons. So I think we had an issue here. Okay, under masons, the cost. We said here that we'll put all masons together. So here, instead of 10, it should have been 50 because there are 5. Because the masons are together. All these things need to be accurate. Then the carpenters, how many? So 20. Steel benders, how many?
3.
So 30 cedis. Then laborers, we said how many? 10. So 100 cedis. Okay, that's it. So anytime you make a mistake, you come back and correct it. Okay, good. So the
So that place where we need to fix formwork. Because the carpenters, they will also fix this thing. The formwork before they cast the concrete in it. So we have to say the
So
formwork.
that means after the still bending was carpentry will have to come.
okay. So let me insert a task here and call this carpentry works. Form work.
Yes.
Okay, like this.
It can be together.
Okay,
Yes.
form work. Okay, so this form work, when will they start?
The block have to drive. Okay, no, auto can start between middle.
After 3 days of starting the block laying,
They
you
can
also
start. So that will be on 21st. Okay, so 21st. How many days should we give them?
It is going to be after the block laying is done.
Okay, so block laying will finish on 1st of October. So
they should finish around
3 days after.
Yes.
Okay, so 3 days after, that means they are going to get also 12 days.
Should we do job?
Yes.
Okay.
So they started 3 days. after Mason started, and they will finish 3 days after Mason's.
Or better still, for us not to waste much resources on them. If we have, yes, you have to be cost effectiveness to come in. So, carpenters, let's say they allow the block length to lay midway. That is from 16, right? Block lane. They are starting from 16. So let's say from 22nd, 23rd, thereabout.
21st.
21st, eh? Okay, 21st.
So,
Up
because
to,
no matter how it is, they have the block work has to finish before they also finish.
it should not be finished before it can be,
No, not finish because the block work will finish
before they will
they
finish.
will also finish.
Uh-huh.
So roughly it will be like 2 days extra.
Interval.
Interval.
So the carpenters can start, let's say 22nd, 23rd. That is 4 days later.
Okay. So 22nd or 23rd?
23rd.
23rd.
Yeah.
Okay. Then their working days will be 10 days, right? Okay, good. Then the casting of the columns. Okay, let me assign resources to this. Okay, now predecessors for. Let's see. Okay. Okay, immediately we see the course and we close for today. Then tomorrow we'll continue. Okay, so the still bending works. Okay, are we done with the task or there'll be another thing?
The tax is okay.
It's okay. Okay, so tomorrow we'll continue planning for the predecessors. Let me just put the resources, then we will find the cost and we'll close. So still bending works will be done. Resources will be still bending works will be still benders and
They don't need it, so
Yeah.
you don't need it.
do you need engineer and foreman?
No.
Okay.
Maybe
To supervise, you can ask the
foreman.
Foreman. Okay. Then form work will be carpenters.
Carpenter and foreman.
Carpenters, foreman. Then casting of columns.
Mason and carpenter.
Mason and carpenter.
Yes.
Now Mason, if you say Mason, it's going to pick all the 5 Masons, because that's how we have programmed it. Okay. But they are all 5 and
Yes.
the thing is big, so the work is
And
big.
then, for the casting, the laborers will be part. Masons and laborers.
So for the casting, Masons and laborers, okay.
Yes.
Laborers, Masons, and who? Carpenters.
And maybe the engineer also should be there.
Engineer should be there.
The
Foreman.
foreman should be there.
Then you said who? Laborers. You said. You said carpenters. Will carpenters be there?
They will be. And all they will finish this. Carpenters will go up like box.
And they will do their form work. So the form work is done.
Okay.
Okay.
Then Masons
All
will
right.
be there.
So now we have our resources. Let me go back to the resource tab and level all and whatever changes we have. Now we are told that the project will take 45 days to complete.
45.
Yes. And now I want you to see the magic of this program. Let me push this one aside. And here, what do you see here? Let me zoom in. What do you see? Add new column. Watch this. I'll click down here on this arrow, and there are a lot of columns I can add. let me start typing the one I want so that it will come out for me to choose. Over here, what do you see? I'm going to add a new column called cost. Immediately I add this, it will calculate everything and tell you that the total project is going to cost this amount. And at every task has its cost, because the resources have been well allocated. Every task will have its cost, and this is how much the project is going to cost. So once you plan your project and you plan your resources and your tasks, the program will tell you how much you are going to spend. If it is more than your budget, then you go and revise. You go and revise.
Because the 45 days is too much.
So now you can go back and see how you can manage things.
Wow.
So now, what is the purpose of Microsoft projects? It says that now you know what MS Project is and its importance, but what exactly is it for? The use of MS Project is fundamental to ensure the success of project planning and execution. Through its application, managers can manage resources, evaluate budgets, create schedules, measure performance, analyze opportunities, and assess risks. With the correct use of this software, you have total control over your projects, and you are prepared to make strategic decisions. Through its use, you can also idealize and schedule activities, track deadlines, set costs, assign resources, and qualify the degree of importance of a project as a whole. MS Project has become popular, especially because of the versatility of adapting to different circumstances. Microsoft Project answers the following questions when undertaking a project. 1. What tasks do I need to perform? Is there any order to execute them? How do I know the deadlines for each task? Who will be involved in these processes? What will be the expenses? What should I communicate the particularities of the project to? How should I communicate the particularities of the project to whoever is involved in this project? What is the critical path that can lead to delays within the stipulated deadlines? So this is some information I put down about this program, and at least we have seen a little bit of it in action. And what we have done here alone is giving us a lot of information, but the program can do so much more. This is just a tip of the iceberg.
Wow. It's very interesting.
Yes.
Very, wow.
Yes. And we have a Gantt chart that can also show us all our activities in the form of diagram and who is involved in which activity, who will be taking which activity, and all that. So we will end part 1 of our studies here. We'll continue again and add more to it.